Britain's chief Brexit negotiator has said the Northern Ireland Johnson Protocol is democratically extremely difficult, but ultimately justified as a way of protecting the peace process. Speaking before a Stormont committee, David Frost said the post-Brexit arrangement to prevent a hard border on the island of Ireland was a huge compromise by London that was made willingly. Yeah, you should tell that his people too. It was pretty exceptional to agree to apply EU law in the north and control the movement of goods from Britain into the region, but the wider goal of maintaining peace in the north justifies the deal, he suggested. Why he's not interested in the peace anymore, he should explain too. We knew this was democratically extremely difficult, the imposition of another party's law, even if it is in, as we saw it and see it, the wider goal of protecting the Good Friday Agreement and peace process and the achievements that have been made so far, he told the MLAs. That is a very important wider goal that justifies things. While it is pretty unusual to have laws set by an outside entity, there is an albeit imperfect consent mechanism built into the agreement, which allows the Stormont Assembly to review the arrangement in 2024, he added. And I'm quite sure to know what Stormont will say in 2024, if that still exists, the whole deal still exists. The territorial integrity of the UK is not impacted, he insisted. Mr. Frost blamed former Prime Minister Theresa May's negotiating team for lumping him with a particularly inheritance, which meant the protocol is shaped as it is. No, she gave you the backstop, you made the protocol. Unfortunately, we were not able to go back to scratch and do things in a different way, and I think previous teams are to a very large degree responsible for some of the infelicities of the protocol and the withdrawal agreement that we might be better without. But unfortunately, we are where we are, he said. Britain has forwarded to the EU a dozen papers with detailed proposals for improvements, he said, but had yet to get responses, he said. Yeah, they will not reopen the deal. One was a proposal based on equivalence, which he described as intellectually perfectly possible, but getting the politics in the right place seems to be more difficult. Yeah, but you want to deviate away from those standards, and there's no equivalence anymore. The UK has rejected a call by the EU to align with its veterinary and food standards to cut up to 80% of checks on goods moving between Britain and the North under the Johnson Protocol. Mr. Frost said it was fundamental that goods can move across the Irish Sea in a freer way than at the moment. Yeah, and you got the easy solution. Ask the EU. Britain rejects suggestions that it was not implementing the protocol and had already delivered 4 new IT systems from scratch and will be spending the best part of £500 million over the next year or two on schemes to support it, he said. Yeah, but you had to be ready after 6 months. That was last month, not in 1 or 2 years. Mr. Frost described ongoing talks with the EU as a little tense and said that all options are on the table if there is no break in the impasse. Britain's approach to the implementation of the protocol will be presented in Westminster later today. I think the price on offer for us, if we can find this new balance, is that we will set the relationship between us and the EU onto a different trajectory, said Mr. Frost. It's a little bit tense at the moment. Nobody wants that, and I think the protocol issues are the core of that. No, your lies, your breaking deals is the core of that. Mr. Frost told Stormont's executive committee there will always be a need for a tailored treaty relationship between us and the EU covering Northern Ireland. However, he said arrangements needed to be sensible, proportionate and have consensus. Yeah, we had consensus. You signed that thing, we signed that thing. We will always prefer a consensual approach in solving this question, and I think there are ways of finding a way through and delivering on that. That is the way we hope to proceed, but all options remain on the table, he added. And sorry, if you've seen if you watch it on my Brexit channel today as well, I get emotional on that one, or quite angry on that one, because I can't hear that bullshit anymore. I'm sorry. I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.